service and turn it over to Sister Rose. Let's give her a hearty amen as she comes.
It's good to be here tonight to worship the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. I wouldn't trade him for nothing in this world. What a great life. What a great life. He knows how to touch you. He knows what to do. After I got up from my afternoon nap, the Lord started talking to me about this message. The message was so forceful until when I got through looking at scripture and going through it, I felt like, wow. I was so tired I thought I had preached. I'm going to preach it next Sunday. How much is it needed in this hour? How much? I am grateful to God for all of his blessings. Ray, you need to pay attention to the word. Let the kids sit back there and you listen to God. How about that? Say what? He's what? Just listen to what God is saying, okay? The devil has a way of getting into everything. That's the truth. If he can make kids act up and you get their attention, as long as you ain't paying attention to the word, he loves it. So I'm telling you what's good for you. Say amen, Sister Rose. All right. That's where it's supposed to be. Yes. I'm going to be preaching to you a little while tonight, and I think that you'll take a look at yourself and say, where am I? When God, I'm coming from Genesis 3rd chapter, if you got time to find it, but it's the first book in the Bible, so you shouldn't have a time finding that. But I'm preaching tonight to you. God at some point in time met with Adam and Eve at a certain time in the day. But one time he got ready to go there to fellowship with them, but he couldn't. I wonder if God is looking, trying to see where you are. I want to fellowship with you. I want to spend time with you. Where are you? Listen to the scripture. It says, and they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told thee thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. Listen to this now. God has now come down to fellowship, and I wonder sometime when he comes down to fellowship with his people, where are we at? God should never have to say to you, where are you? Because the only time that God's going to say, where are you, is when you're not in position. He don't have to ask the question because he's meeting with you. He understands that he feels this. So now he's looking for Adam and Eve. He knows that they've done something wrong. Because what happened? I come down at this time all the time to meet with you. What happened? And then Adam said, I was afraid. What are you afraid of? You wasn't afraid before. The times that I came in the evening to spend time with you, you wasn't afraid then. So what have you done to make you feel fear? That's what you got to ask yourself. What am I doing that I'm always afraid? I'm scared. Maybe Sister Rose going to know this and know that. What are you afraid of? If you did nothing wrong, you shouldn't be afraid. So now he's come down and he's looking for them. In my heart, as I worked on this message, I thought to myself, what must you have felt at that moment? Because this man was made for God's glory. Man was made that God would have somebody to fellowship with. And I come down and no doubt looking forward to this time of fellowship. And I can't even find you. Nothing is worse than somebody, sometimes they'll come in the house and I'm somewhere else and they'll say, where's mama? Where's my mama? Where are you? And sometimes I just don't answer. Sometimes I do. But when you're looking for somebody, this is the person that you truly love, that you care about. What is this? I can't find you. I can't lay my hands on you. Where are you? And then he goes there and he looks at Adam and, where you at, Adam? Why have you wandered away? You and I spend time together. We love each other. What is this? And I think sometimes when we ought to be in prayer, fellowshipping with God, we're not there and God's wondering where you at. Because we don't mind breaking engagements with God. We don't mind just kind of putting that on the back burner and leaving it. We don't mind if we got to break an appointment, we're going to break his. No, never, never. So now God is showing the side of him that is concerned because the person I want to fellowship with, I can't find him. Then Adam finally comes out and says, I heard your voice in the garden, but I can't hear you now. Why didn't I answer you? Why didn't I speak to you? Why didn't I meet you at the opening of the garden? Why wasn't I right there when you came in? Looking for the time to fellowship and to praise you and to worship you. Come on. Adam, where are you? Where are you at? You're always at this place. I come every day to fellowship. Why did you leave this place? But he left because he had sinned, because he had done something he should have never done. And that is, he partook of the fruit of the tree that God says, don't eat of that tree. You can have everything else in the garden, but don't eat of that tree. And I'm thinking, what is it with man that he only wants what God doesn't want him to have? Why can't we just say, well, God says it's not good for me, I won't bother that. Instead of continually doing things wrong, and we know they're wrong, and we do it anyway. So God is saying, he said, Adam wasn't spiritually deaf because he heard him, but he ran from him. People only run and hide when there's something to hide. If there's nothing to hide, there's no need to go away. So if God today was looking for you, have you ever said by this time, you ought to have a set time that you meet with God? And nothing is going to get in my way. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to meet with God at this time. And whatever tries to get in the way, I refuse to let it be a problem in my life. I'm not going to let it happen. See? Nothing is worse than when we drift from the presence of God. His presence is what gives us joy. His presence is our strength. His presence is everything. So when I drift away from that, I begin to get depressed. I begin to feel down. I start feeling like, you know what, I don't know if I can do this or not. You leave his presence, you find yourself in a bad place. Stay in his presence. See, this is not about coming to church being in his presence. This is about something I do every day, all day. I never depart out of his presence. Even if I'm busy doing something, I don't depart out of his presence. My grandmother told me one time, she said, Rose, ask the Lord to give you intercessory prayer. And no matter what you're doing in the course of the day, you spend that time with God and praying for him, praying to him. And I used to think, well, how can that happen? So I used to think, if I'm busy doing things, how can I pray at the same time? How can I do that? So I learned that it wasn't hard. It all depends on where you live. And so I understood later what she meant. I didn't understand at the time. As you come to know God, you start realizing that he wants to spend time with you. Why would the king of the universe, why would he want to spend time with you or with me? We're the dust of the earth. It's the greatest honor in the world that he wants to spend time with me. Because I'm nothing, God. You control the whole universe, and you look down and see a piece of dust and say, I want to be with you. Adam, where are you? Where are you? Think about it. See? So now if Adam had not moved himself from the presence of God, he would have never been running from God. And he would have never committed that sin of disobedience. He would have never did it. So listen to it. Now, I got to deal with the fact that, how did I let myself shift out of this? This happens to people daily. One minute they feel like they're on fire for God. They're willing to go anywhere that they need to go. But think for a minute. What? Where am I? Sometimes you look at people's face and their face, or their eyes rather, are so spaced out. Most of the time when you see people spaced out like that, they're not in a good place. The devil has control of your mind to take you places that you never decided to go. Think about it. So now, the devil feels happy about this. He doesn't want people. He doesn't want to make God happy. He hates God. And don't you be the one that contributes to that hatred. I'm going to be there when you want me to be there. You hear people say, well, I don't know if I can make that appointment. If you really want to make it, you make it. You say, no matter what, I'm going to do this. So when I look at people and I see all these things, I'm wondering to myself, okay, are you still there? Sometimes my kids will say, get a stare, they say. So where are you at? They don't know. You should never get in a stare that takes you from the presence of God. Never. My mind should never be that full of all these things until I drift away from his presence. No matter what. No matter where I go, no matter what I do, I'm in his presence. In his presence is joy. If you don't have joy, you're not in his presence. If you're not wrapped up in him and he's there with you and you know it, you bumping into each other. Come on. Think about it. So God was looking for a chance to fellowship with Adam. But he wasn't there. Why? Why didn't he ask where Eve was? She was in the garden. He said, Adam, where are you? He's still asking men that today, where are you, men? Churches are full of women. Where's the man? Where's he at? Because man's so stubborn and set in his way. You know, women, they'll give in a little bit and they'll cry and they'll want to change their life and do whatever. But man is much harder than that. He feels like he's macho and, you know, I'm the man. You're the dummy. Yes. Think about it. Adam, where are you? Because, number one, Adam was supposed to be the head of this woman. I'm dealing with him because I want to have fellowship with you. Perhaps if I've had fellowship with you, I also have it with Eve. So think about it. So you cannot move yourself from the presence of God and you don't know you moved it. Adam knew he wasn't there. That's why he said, I heard your voice in the garden, but I'm scared. Scared of what? What did you do? You was never afraid before. Why now? When you start feeling a sense of fearful guilt, you examine, what am I afraid of? What is this guilt? What have you done wrong that you know you shouldn't have done? What's going on? I said to the Lord in prayer the other day when I was working on this message, I said, let me stop for a moment and say to you, that you will never ask Rose, where are you? I promise you, you will never ask that. Because I know where you are. I know you're coming to fellowship with me. I know I couldn't do enough to deserve it. I know that you love me more than anybody in the whole world. I know that. I am not going to put you on hold for nobody. You put people on hold that's insignificant. But the one who loves you and died for you and gave his life, you don't put him on hold. No. You don't do that. I said all these years, you never had to ask me where I was because I wanted to be there. You know what's wrong with you? You don't want to be there. And you think something else is a little bit more fun, a little bit more something else I can do, interesting, if you will. So I'm doing something else. Yeah, it's okay to pray. When prayer is nonchalant, that's not going to work. God don't meet with nonchalant people, but people that are focused on him. Before it's time for me actually to go to prayer, I'm whispering words to him the whole time. Meet me today. Let's talk. Let's talk, God. I take time out. The minute my kids leave out of that house and they're through cleaning up and everything, immediately, me and him start communicating. Can I just be sitting there, and all of a sudden, I know he's there, because all of a sudden, the presence of God, he's meeting me here. I promised to meet him. And he loves it. He loves it. We treat God as if he don't have feelings. We treat him as if we don't need an intimate relationship with God, but I say, yes, we do. We need to get inside him and he inside us so that I'm able to receive all that I need from you. I want to give it 100%. Too many people are missing out on this because you removed yourself from the presence of God. You removed yourself. He wants to hear you say to him, I love you. Lord, I'm yours. I'm yours 100%. He wants to hear that. The more you tell him about your feelings in your heart and how much you love him and care about him, he loves it. You get response from him. Every time you say, I love you, you get a response. Every time you look up and say, I wouldn't hurt you for nothing in the world, you get a response. You're not getting a response because what you're talking about is not from the heart. It's a bunch of words. And God said, I need what comes from the heart. That's what I need. I need you to mean what you say and say what you mean. And don't just fast talk me. Take the time. Take the time to talk to him. If you will make him the number one choice, I can tell you for sure your prayer life will definitely change, because I'm not praying out of obligation. I'm praying because I'm in love. With who? Jesus. I'm in love with him. So I want to spend this time with him. This is great. What is he going to say today? What is he going to do? What will he show me? What will he reveal to me by his Spirit? But I got to want to be there. When you don't want to be there, the time is long. You're looking at the clock saying, oh, God, I just been down. I thought at least it was 30 minutes. You're not enjoying prayer. Sometimes I get so caught up in prayer, I don't know what time it is, and I turn around, look at the clock, and I think, oh, my God. I have what I call an early devotion. That's not the prayer time at 4 o'clock, but the prayer time when I'm really out of the bed for today. Every morning I have an hour devotion and also reading the word. But here's the thing with God. I know it means something to him because I can feel it. You start your day off with me, you have a good day. And I got up that morning to talk to him, and I was going to, after the hour and a half, I got to work out. So this particular morning, I got up and I started talking to the Lord before I ever got out of bed. I was sitting up in the bed talking to God. Usually I get out of the bed, get in the chair. And that prayer went on and on and on. And when I knew one thing, 3 hours had passed. And I looked up at the clock as if not to believe it. I've been here 3 hours? It didn't seem like, my God, how time passed. You hear people say time really passes fast when you're enjoying yourself, when you're having a good time. So I sat there and I was supposed to work out a long time ago. I did. I went on and worked out anyway, but I thought, what a beautiful time. I cherish it. You got to start cherishing your time spent with God, away from family, away from friends, away from children. Just you and God. It makes a world of difference. Because you're saying you are the most important thing in my life. So all this other stuff, it can wait. So, is God looking for you? Where are you at? You were supposed to be in church, but you're not here. Where were you? You was here Sunday morning, but you wasn't here Sunday night. Where are you? God's looking for you. Where are you tonight? Somewhere parked on a couch, eating something fattening and watching TV. No. Is that more important? Everything that's important in your life is given the utmost time. But if it's not important, cut it short. I'm thankful that as I approach the end of my life, that I'm spending more time with God than ever, and I'm loving every minute of it. Thank you. Thank you, because I didn't come to prayer and you didn't show up. He showed up. You don't have to worry about God not showing up. He's going to show up. See, I believe that. Establish this between you and God. Start building a relationship. You're not going to pray as long as I pray. A baby Christian don't do that. When I started out as a baby Christian, I prayed 15, 20 minutes. Moved up to 30. Moved up to 45 minutes. But start somewhere. Because as time goes on and you have a relationship with God, everything increases. Nothing. If it doesn't increase, you're stagnant. You're going nowhere. I don't care what enjoyment you're having right now with God. I don't care what you're having. It will come a time you have to move from that place. You got to go to another place. Because that one place won't satisfy. As you get old, look at this. We bring the babies home from the hospital. We give them milk and they drink milk for a while. Then after a while, we add cereal. And then we add a little fruit. And then we do this. But as that baby grows, it needs more. So spiritually speaking, you got to keep growing. Because the more you grow, the more you eat. I used to give my baby, just put a tablespoon of pablum or rice or whatever in his bottle and put a little bit of applesauce or something in there. At first, that's fine. It satisfies. But the bigger that baby gets, that's not going to work. He's going to be hollering again in a couple of hours. I'm hungry. Okay? That's the way we ought to be doing spiritually. I'm hungry. I thank God for this, but I need some more. Put a little more food on that plate. Add a little extra. Why? Because I'm in a position right now where I'm hungering for more. He that hunger and thirst after righteousness shall be filled. Shall be filled. So the reason why you haven't got anything else, because you're really not interested in anything else. But David said, taste of the Lord. See that he's good. If he's good, you don't want more? Of course you do. I want more. I said to the Lord, Lord, I've seen many people that start out good, but their life turned bad at the end. I don't want to have a bad end. And since I don't have to have one, I choose not to. I don't want to end bad. No. Don't have to. I saw a lot of people lose out with God in the end who once knew him. But at the end of their life, you never get too tired to get more of God and go after him with everything in your heart, in your mind, your soul. Go after more. Give me more, God. Anytime you commit sin and God comes around, you feel ashamed. God, I'm so ashamed. Because sin always brings shame. So you don't want the devil to push you into a place that you shouldn't be. He wants you to be separated from God. He wants you not to make him number one. He wants you because he knows although things mean you have a greater power against his kingdom, he doesn't want you there. But you got to want it bad enough to say, you can't stop me. I'm going here. I'm not giving it up. I want more. You are never going to be totally satisfied with the Spirit of God operating in your life because the inner man always wants more. He wants more. Give me more. Because it just feels good. You think if it feels this good here, what would it feel like if I went up here? So I'm exploring. I'm looking at God and thinking, my God, this is great. Everything God's ever done for me I consider great. But you know what? I found greater. Greater. Things I never experienced before. I love new things. I love things I've never felt or experienced before. This is wow. This is awesome. This is what I need. If you don't get more as you progress, as you get older, spiritually speaking, you're going to start feeling depleted. You're going to feel like, what is it? The inner man saying, I got to have more. Give me more. I'm thankful for all that. My kid, after a while, you feed them strained food, but then it comes a time, they call it the junior food. Well, it's got a little stuff in it. It's got some other things in it. It just ain't strained. Has some meat in there. A little bit of this. A little bit of that. And so now they're feeling better. That's what makes them get up and start crawling and wanting to walk. You know, well, I'm strong. That's what makes them want a chicken leg. You know, give me a leg. Because he's tasted chicken in a different form. But now he's of age where he wants to suck on the bone. What's wrong with you? God is looking for you. Are you excited about me? Are you in love with me? Am I your number one choice every day? Sometimes you just would like to take a piece of this and say to every person, feel this. Feel this, what it feels like. Oh, Yabakashandalabokosita, in the Yomahandai, in the middle of the night, no matter what, I gotta have more. Just keep pulling on him. He loves it. That's one place you can be greedy and won't be criticized. Get all you can get from God. Woo! Glory be to God. The presence of God gives us rest, gives us courage, gives us comfort, gives us assurance. Always there for everything. The reason why you're not comforted, you're not in his presence. The reason why you're a coward, you're not in his presence. He said the righteous are bold as a lion. We will contend with whatever we have to contend with, but we'll fight. We'll give it everything we got. We're not afraid. There's no fear. And when I need assurance, he's there to give that to me. I assure you, Rose, the promise I made to you, I am going to keep it. That's the good thing about the word. Every word in this Bible has an assurance that it will happen, that I'm going to do it for you. When you start getting so hungry that I can't wait for the next service. I can't wait for the next service. That's the person that's hungry. You say, well, is it Wednesday night? Is prayer time? Oh, you don't have it, baby. You're talking about it, but you don't have it. Because that's a good time. What do I do with it? I just want to get to know you. When Paul had experienced so many things from him, then he said, oh, that I might know him in the fellowship of his suffering. I want to know you. You would think all the things God did for you, he still said, I want to know you. I want more. You got to never stop asking for more and going after it until you obtain that. You can do it. You got to want to. You got to say, I'm not going to stop fighting. I don't care how tired I am, and I have some tired days. I got to pray. I got to pray. I tell my kids, Mama, why don't you take a nap? I said, I'll take a nap, but I got to pray. I always feel the urgency to pray. You got to pray. And I'm looking at people that don't even think about praying the whole day. All day long, I got to pray. Busy doing this, I got to pray. Got to spend time with God. You cannot be an effective minister and do what you need to do for the people of God until you become effective in prayer. Till you understand the power of it. That's why I said nobody is going to be saved who don't pray. It's impossible. Spending time with God gives you strength. It helps you in the long run. Yes. I think we have to deal with the fact that a lot of people are estranged from God. They just, you know what that word means? It means no longer close or affectionate. I don't feel any affection toward him. See? It means to alienate the affection of. So, I want a hug. Or estranged means keeping something at a distance. You know what happened to Peter when he followed the Lord far off. You don't let that distance be in there. That's like driving down the street, and if you drive too slow, every car will come in front of you. But if you close that gap, nothing can come in. And that's the same way with serving God. You close the gap, you can't get all this stuff in there. So I'm not going to do it. This life offers us everything. Why are you doing without so much when it offers you everything? You can have it because God said, I want you to have it. We don't get hungry for it enough to say, I'm going after this today. We need to set some guidelines, some goals, some things that we say about this time I want to be here, I want to be there. Some of you have been sitting on the pew for years. You ain't no better today than you was years ago. What's wrong with you? Perhaps you got a diet that's not making you hungry for God because you feeding the outer man, but the inner man is perishing. You got to feed the inner man. The inner man can't live off of chicken and potatoes. It fares better when nothing is there. When you're fasting, your inner man is being strengthened. It's getting better. And people say, I can't fast. Of course you can fast. You got to want to. You got to want to. I get hungry. Really? My head hurt. And I got a stomach ache. That goes with it. It's a part of it. If you're not eating, you're going to have some reaction in the body, but you need it. That's what's going to bring you closer to God. When you add fasting and prayer and connect the two, that changes everything in your life. And you got to look at it and say, boy, I feel so much better when I'm fasting. Prayer is better. Keep doing that until you get to the mountaintop. Keep doing it. Don't stop. You know what? They don't want to fast in this church unless I call it. We got a few, isolated few, who will fast on their own. Just say, I need a fast. That's why I got to call it. I will be calling it tonight. You've had a whole month to sit around and just pass the time off. And talk about how good it is. Oh, taste of the Lord and see that he is good. When the disciples came to Jesus, he said, Master, we're going to go get some food. And when they come back, they wanted to know, they wanted to give him some. He said, I got meat you don't know about. He said, did somebody bring him some food before we got back? Just stupid. No. He said, my meat is to do the will of my Father and to finish this work. So every time you want to eat, I can't necessarily eat. Because why? I got meat you know not of. The average Christian can't say that. They only got meat that they know of. There ain't nothing spiritual going on. And you know what too much eating does? It makes you carnal. It makes you carnal. What did Israel do? The scripture says after they drank and they ate, they rose up to play. It's something about food make you want to act stupid. Hey, what you do? start fasting, you're not in the mood for that. Somebody come in laughing like, what's wrong with you? Nothing. I don't feel like acting a fool today. I don't feel like laughing. This is serious time. I'm trying to go there to that place where I can get something from God. I'm not going to spend my time with a bunch of foolishness. I told him one time when I first got saved, I never tried to be funny. I just was. And Lonnie and Sue would pick me up for us to go to church. He was our fellowship leader at the time. And I would get in the car, and we had about a 45-minute drive to the church. And I would get in the car, just saying regular things. Lonnie and Sue are in tears laughing. And I just kept on doing it. Not because I was actually trying to be funny. I wasn't even trying to be funny. As people laugh sometime now, I'm not trying to be funny. This is just truth. So the Lord spoke to me and said, what did we say one of the other day? He said to me after I got home from church, you're carrying on too much foolishness. I don't like it. I said, well, I don't have to do it. See, but laughing. Then he showed me this little dog. Dogs oftentimes represent spirits, evil spirits. And I saw this dog, and he was jumping on me just laughing. I thought, that's a spirit. I never thought of it as a spirit. That's the way I've been doing, laughing and talking all my life. But God said, I need you to get serious, Rose. Quit playing. So I told my son-in-law the other night, I come to church, the Lord said, tell him to take me serious. He needs a relationship that's serious. He's full of play. You know what the problem with play is? Is because, say for instance, you're in your car, and your car is, it's not balanced. So when you drive, it's hard to keep it straight because you got too much play in the wheel. But if you get it fixed and have them to readjust things, you won't have that play in it. Sometimes we need readjusting spiritually so we don't have play in us. Because this is a serious thing we're doing here. We're talking about our life. We're talking about I could go to hell in a split moment. I better take it serious. God don't care if you have a little laughter here and there, but don't run it in the ground. And my grandmother saying, break it off. Have a limit to it. So now it's time to be serious. You know, you can laugh, hey, but let's get serious about what we're doing. We're talking about going to heaven or hell. I better be serious about this because I could miss heaven like that quick. I think we're so laxed. We almost like, well, I don't think that's going to be a problem. It's a problem, see. When you distance yourself from God, you don't feel a closeness to him. And it's because you're not close. So you don't have any affection. Do you know what? Nobody has a relationship with husband and wife, children, family, that you don't show affection. You're going to show something. Let me touch you. Let me hug you. Affection. We got to feel this when we're dealing with God. This is affection. Oh, she's really carried away, isn't she? No, I feel this. I really feel that he is right here and he is listening to me. And I'm saying, thank you. I see you. I hear you. You got to go there. You got to go there. There's nothing else like it. See? So I'm happy that I can feel that. If you get too far away, the relationship suffers. So it becomes cold. Just don't have any real feeling in it anymore. You can tell in marriages, I've counseled a lot of people with marriage issues, and when they have lost a feeling for their mate, there's no affection. I don't want to kiss you. I don't want to hug you. Why not? I just don't want to. Why? I just don't feel close to you. I don't feel bonded with you. You know why? Some people only marry for sex, and when sex runs out of the marriage, they have nothing. And believe me, I don't care what you think about sex and how you think, in your marriage, this is what's going on. It's going to come a time that that's not going to be the thing to make it work. You're going to get older. My daughter, before she got married, she was 26 years old. No matter what got wrong, she said, you need sex. Everything. You got a headache, you need sex. Your stomach's hurting, you need sex. But it wasn't very long. For you find out sex is not a fix-it-all. You cannot resolve every issue with sex. That's what's wrong with the world today. They believe it all happens and it can work as long as you got sex. You're really back in the woods on that. No. You got to love what you do and let it go. It's okay. Some people feel like it's the end of the world. The doctors are giving people all kind of stuff. Help men to be able to perform. It comes a time when it's tired. Let it rest. It's really okay. It's like, what's wrong? Nothing. You push anything too hard, it's going to get exhausted. What's going on? When we first got married, we had 3 or 4 times a day. That ain't going to last. You do anything 3 or 4 times a day, after a while, you're going to start getting tired. Give it a break. They think something's wrong with them. No, the body's saying, if you ain't got no sense, I got something, go ahead. I'm not doing it again. I just got to keep going. Then they're in the prayer line, something's wrong. No, it ain't. Ain't nothing wrong. Enjoy your life. It's okay to have some chicken and go to sleep. See, people so caught up. That's why God ain't got no room in your life. You got everything else crowded out. Take time out. It's okay. I got a moment. And you know what? If that's going to be a devastation to your marriage, you didn't have one. But too many people are married for that one reason, because I need sex. It's not going to work. What you really need is more of God. There'll be less desire. It won't be as strong. It won't drag you down the street looking crazy and buck-eyed and what do. Come on. There's more to life than that. It is given so much power is given to this through everything, through commercials on the TV. People really believe. I was thinking about Donald Trump the other day. I thought, boy, did you ever go to sleep? Did you ever say I'm tired? I don't care what you're trying to do at 71. You're limited, son. You're limited. Walk around and think you all that if you want to. You are limited. It's not going to stay like that. We act like everything we get that's great in life will always be this way. No, it will not. It's going to change. And if that's what you built your marriage off of, you're not going to have one. Because everything changes. Thanks be to God. Take a break. Take a break. Go spend that time with God that you're not accustomed to. Start praying. You can be sitting in your chair and just talk to God. Spend some time with him. Then you ain't got your mind on all these other things that tend to pull you away. Wrap yourself up in him. Love him more than you love anything or anybody. You can spend time with him that he don't have to try to find out where you're at. The divine presence is the inner God. Or simply, presence is a concept in spirituality that deals with the ability of God to be present with human beings. This is what this is. It's the inner God. What's the inner God? The God that's within us. Okay? So, be sure he's got his rightful place in your heart, in your spirit. Listen. You know the people that build a relationship with God, that when they hear the word, they're intense. Okay, I got to try that. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm going to do that. The whole time I'm preaching, I can look over this audience and I can tell you every person that's going to move toward what they hear tonight. And I can show you the people that's going to sit here and listen to it and say, well, oh, well. Next week, this time, they'll be exactly the same place. You want to change that. Start enjoying being saved. Not just saved because I don't want to go to hell. I enjoy being saved. It's a good life. So it's not just about this little thing or that little thing. I am enjoying my saved life. A lot of people that say they saved, they're not happy. You cannot be saved and not be happy. You're not saved. That's what you have to deal with. See. God is also known as the I am presence. I am today. I am tomorrow. I am next week. The I am God. Where is he at in your life? Is he the I am in you? Because if he's I am, he's there all the time. How do you view him? As a believer, we have the ability to carry his presence with us because it's within us. That's the inner God. So everywhere I could go, I can take him with me. We used to sing a song at home that said, take the Lord along with you everywhere you go. People put God off somewhere. You can't go in here, God, I'm getting ready to head to the club here. I'm getting ready to have me a little affair and stuff. You ain't saved. These people really believe they're saved. It's amazing. You cannot be saved and be a sinner too. Something's got to give. Sell back. Nothing is worse than a preacher that can't get it together. I told the church about this. I was in Dallas with my husband on vacation, and the Lord said to me, I'll never forget it if I live to be 100. Charles and I had made love to each other, and at the end of it, I went to sit on the couch, and the Lord said, preachers die here. Visit this place. Do not live there. And we find preachers all over the place is so hooked up to sex. That's why they're having affairs and getting illegitimate babies. They just sex. I said, visit this place, Rose. Don't live here. You can die in this place. You know why? Because there's nothing spiritual about sex. You can talk in tongues if you want to. There's nothing spiritual about it. No. That's a carnal thing. There's nothing spiritual about it. You know, I just start talking in tongues. Really? What tongue was you talking about? Whoa. Yeah. And you know what? Show me a dead preacher's the one that live on Sex Avenue and never leaves it. That's all he thinks about. You get to the pulpit, here they come with it. Don't come up here with it. You know I told you about one of our preachers. I ain't going to call his name. Whoa. That's what I was telling Samson. I got to meet with you, Samson, because this preacher was up in the pulpit just preaching. I'm sitting behind him always. I said, what is that little swag? He had a little swag about him while he was preaching. I said, what is that? And you know what it was? All of a sudden, he's thinking about the sex he had with his wife, and hey, you're preaching! You can't do that in the pulpit. When he got through preaching, I said, don't do that ever again. Because the Lord gave it to me. That's where it said he's swagging. You know, I took care of that. They don't go in the pulpit. I'm not going to have it. We had another preacher, Brother Clint. Brother Clint was divorced, and he read through the book of Song of Solomon. And Solomon is talking about Christ's love for the church, and he's talking about the breast, and he's talking about all this. And my preacher friend said, let's lay on the breast. I said, oh, no. That ain't, you left the spiritual aspect of it. You all the way over here. Christ and the church got nothing to do with natural sex. He got way. I told him, I said, come here. Stay off of that subject. Don't talk about the church in the Song of Solomon. You're not able to handle it, baby. Don't let everybody know you got an issue. Preach the gospel. But I'm telling you, you build a relationship with God and you won't always be off on the wrong side. Do the right thing that's right. And you'll be glad that you did. And you know what? And your relationship with God will get a lot stronger than it is right now. That goes for whether you're married or unmarried. You got to be willing. That's why I say if you come after me, you got to deny yourself. Take up your cross and follow me. Listen to me. Life means more than that. God says, I want to mean more to you than that. I want you to wrap yourself up in me. See? Listen, Moses said, God, if you're going to go with us, if you want me to go over to this place where you want me to go, he said, I don't know if I can do that, but he says this. He said to God, if thy presence go not with me, carry us not up hence. I'm not going without you. You got to have it. To be victorious, to make it, to be sanctified. Come on. And look at your life and say, you know what? I need to pay attention to what Sister Rose is talking about because the devil's playing games with your mind. See? I need to listen. I need to follow what I'm being told. So some of the people that are here tonight, some of your problem is that's where you dwell at. Don't live there. Visit that. Tell me, child, a woman is telling folks to give up on sex. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not that stupid. God ordained sex. There's nothing wrong with sex. It's when you abuse it. That's what's wrong with it. You're supposed to understand it's a limited time. Not just sex in the morning, sex in the noonday, sex at night, sex at midnight, sex at 3. There have to be a limit. That's why a man is tired and frustrated with. That's where oral sex came into play at. Did you know that? Because he got tired of doing it the regular way, so he done it so much and wore himself out, done turned on it. He tried to find something new, so he goes to oral sex. Oral sex is not scripture. Not one time did God tell us to take that and turn it into oral sex. That's filthy. A lot of preachers doing it. Somebody asked Bishop Jakes one time, so Bishop Jakes, what do you think about oral sex? And he said, I think preachers need to stay out your bedroom. I'm not staying out. I'm coming in there. I'm coming in there. We get so caught up in stuff. And then we go to doing crazy things. He said they left the natural way of having sex and went to something else. And that's where they are. God cannot talk out of your mouth and speak words clean and sanctified with you using it for other things. He said, wow, are you kidding me? You always have a problem with that. The Lord always puts me on the spot with that. I always can tell who's been there and who hasn't. And most of the time, they have. Start looking real stupid. Calm down. Yeah. But I said, Lord, you know what? If you put it in my mouth, I will say it. There's nothing I won't say. And I have to say everything because I got to get on your street. Where do you live? Come away from that. That will not make things good between you and God. It takes you places you shouldn't go. Listen to it. Listen. I'm reading this verse and I'm getting ready to close. I already done upset the camp. Yeah. Here's how Ray looking at me. Like, what are you talking about? Yes, it says. I'm going to close this message. I think I pushed it far enough. Yes. Don't you just love me? I surely love you. Hang in there. This is good. I'm not going to preach all of it because you see how many scriptures I haven't even touched yet? Everywhere you see a paper clip, I haven't touched. Am I going to touch it? No. I always study thoroughly and have lots of scriptures, but I never use all of them. I do the studying for my own benefit. If I need to use it, I use it. There's probably some things in there I'll come back on in another message, but not tonight. Because I already gave you something that makes you kind of, whoa. Yeah. I love you. Take this message. Don't push it aside. Start setting a time that you meet with God. Every day. By the time you get back here next Sunday, you won't even feel like the same person. You will not feel like it. You'll think, wow, that really works. I feel so different. I feel so new, so changed. You can have it. You can have it. You want a relationship with God? Oh, my God. I sleep with my Bible. This is the most important book in my life because it represents the God that I love. It means everything to me because I may wake up at 1 o'clock with a message. I need my Bible close by, so I sleep with it every night. They know that I got 2 Bibles on the nightstand, 1 Bible in the bed, always. What is God going to tell me in the middle of the night that I need to know? Because it's strange about God. He doesn't always talk at 10 o'clock in the morning, but midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. If you're asleep ahead, you ain't going to hear jack. But this is the best thing for you. In this, everything that you'll ever need in your life is right here. Everything. It'll tell you the right, it'll tell you the wrong, is everything. I love this book. I have maybe 10 or 12 Bibles because sometimes I'm doing 2 or 3 messages at a time, and I hold on to this. Sometime in prayer meeting, in my devotion in the morning, I get the word because I got to look at scripture before I leave, and I'm just holding it. Thank you. Thank you for the sure thing in this life. When everything else fails and nothing works, this works. It's a sure foundation. You can stand on it. Come on, singers and piano players and all you people. Yes. This is wonderful. Try it. You'll like it. Very good for us. Very good for us. I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. Say, Lord, let me fall in love with you. It's okay. It's okay. It won't damage your marriage. It'll help it. It won't separate you. It'll bring you together. God has not come to divide you, but rather to bring you together in your marriage, make it strong. Okay? I love you, appreciate you. Who said that? Hey. Love you too, baby. Yes. Okay, give us a song. Y'all stand up. We got a fast this week. Usually when I say it this way, they do. Like, how many days is she calling? It ain't going to kill you. 3 days. Let's do Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That don't mean you can have coffee and tea. And Thursday, you don't eat all day long. You say, oh, I get weak. You'll be okay. Friday you don't eat. You don't eat that night. You go all day Friday. That's the second day. Saturday is the third day. You eat at 3 o'clock. Don't go get a hamburger. If you run out and get the wrong food, you're going to be sorry that you did, because it's not good for the stomach when it's been without food. But if you do that 3 days and ask the Lord, say, Lord, do something new in me, you will find out, boy, that worked. So I'm not used to fasting. Get used to it. You need it. We all need it. It's absolutely necessary. We went on a fast in Germany. They had some white people, mixed congregation. And my friend, Sister Loft, she was white. And said, Sister Loft, we're going to do a 3-day fast. I said, all right. She got to the second day I saw her, she was so red. Very red. And I went in, I said, what's wrong? She said, Sister Rose, I think you coloreds are stronger than us. I said, no, God's grace is the same. The same God that helps Sister Rose helps you, don't matter if you're white. That's what she said, you coloreds are strong. We better be strong what we have to face in this life, but that's got nothing to do with fasting. It's not upon whether you're white or black. I realized that, I worked along this line, because I realized that white people have 3 squares a day and an in-between snack. Most black people, we're going to pig out in the morning. We'll grab something in the afternoon. And we're going to pig out at night. No, you're going to bed and still pigging out. White people's culture is different from ours. And I allowed that for them. I said, I understand when Dave Zapolo first came to this church, he's a white brother. And he said, Sister Rose, this fast is killing me. I ain't even to 3 o'clock yet. I said, I'm going to let you eat at 3 because you got to get accustomed to a new culture. We know we got to fast. We know it. And it ain't no picnic for nobody. But if God could take us through fast, if I could go 30 days and don't eat, 30 days, no food, plenty of water. Drink water all you want. You cannot hurt your fast with water. Just pig it down. See? But if he could do it for me, for others in this church, he can do it for you. So Thursday, get up Thursday morning. That's going to be the hungriest morning of the week. I'm starving. But you're not starving. You're not starving. You got to go more than one day to starve. Franklin Hall, his book that he wrote on Atomic Power with God through fasting and prayer, he said you don't reach starvation till after 40 days. Look at him looking crazy at me like, are you kidding me? Yes. You ain't going to starve. I guarantee you we've never heard of a person die yet on a fast. Put it in there. Do it. You'll be glad. You'll come in this building next weekend. You will be so shocked how you feel. It'll be unbelievable. Do it. Say, Lord, do something. Exchange. I exchange my food for something spiritual. Do something inside me. He will do it. God bless you. I love you a whole bunch. Give him a song.